Hello and welcome back to Scaled Down Customs. This is going to be part 2 of the work on the AMT 63 Corvette split window resto mod build. So we're going to work on some detail painting. So we're going to finish up the dashboard, a little bit on the interior, and then see if we can get this exhaust line painted up. So I'm going to be using a little bit of the Vallejo silver and some Tamiya white for the gauge face numbers, things like that. So I'll try to keep my head out of the way, but sometimes this detail painting I have to get really close. So I apologize if my head gets in the way, but I'll do my best. All right, so not too bad. That came out pretty good. Not super happy with that. A little bit rough. You can see the paint marks, the brush strokes on there. I'm gonna do a little touch up on that just to kind of blend in that exhaust line a little bit more. Anyway, making progress. So we're getting close to getting ready to paint the body. I think I got everything to behave as far as all my body filler issues and things like that. So for the color, I think I'm gonna use Gravity Colors Chevrolet Black Rose. So we'll give that a try, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of custom work on the paint job, so we'll see how that turns out. But I went ahead and blackened the interior and the firewall. So let's go spray some paint. All right, let's move ahead with interior assembly. Shouldn't take too long since there's only 4 pieces. Oh, 5 pieces. Forgot about the steering wheel. My bent up steering wheel. Alright, so we've got the Chevrolet Black Rose metallic paint on there. It's looking really good. I also put some 2K clear on there, just the zero paints. Just let that paint set up for a while and then put a few coats of 2K clear on there. Looking pretty good. Of course, I always get dust specks and imperfections in the gloss that I'm going to have to sand out. And then, of course, the hood, of course, didn't want to behave. You can see my ghosting from where I filled in the vents on the hood. Hopefully we can get most of that out with the sanding, but we'll see how that goes. So we're going to wet sand this down and then we're going to polish it back out. So got my water. I'm going to be using 3000 grit sandpaper, and then I'll be using my gravity compounds 1, 2, and 3 to polish it back out. So of course we can see pretty significant low spots there where the ghosting is, and then just some dust specks and things to finish getting out. Alright, so you can see I've got some work to do. So this is generally a pretty long process, so I'm going to go ahead and get this taken care of. Like I said, I'm just going to wet sand the whole thing down and then polish it back out, and we'll see you on the other side. Alright, so I got her sanded down and polished back out. Looking pretty good. I burned through on a couple spots, and I did that because I wanted to show you guys how to fix it. What we're going to do, we're going to get a small brush, the original paint color, and what we're going to do is we're just going to dab very carefully along that edge. Just let that dry up. All right, let's work on some window masks. I tried painted the border by hand. It came out pretty good, but I'm always a little jiggly, so it never comes out as clean as I want it to. So let's try to make some masks, and we'll cut those out. Okay, so now we can go spray a border on those, and I'm actually going to tint these back windows. So, all right, got the glass done, got the border on there and the fade on the front windshield, and then the border and then a tint on the rear glass. I decided to try to cut the glass to shape and do a flush mount. Didn't turn out as good as I was hoping, but not too bad. So a little bit of a gap around the sides. But mostly that looks pretty good, so I think it's time to go ahead and get these installed. So we'll be using our Clear Part Safe CA glue. All right, let's let that set up and we'll keep moving along. All right, I'm not sure why I didn't notice that before, but obviously the interior floor pan was shining through. Bottom of the chassis, you saw me mask it up and I airbrushed the rest of the floor pan black, which ended up, I got some overspray up onto the interior here and on the windshield and stuff. So I tried to take the interior out, but I could only get the front out because I had the back glued in so well. And I tried to use some super glue debonder, which I just now realized leaked through and bubbled up underneath my paint. So that's really disappointing, but this wasn't really going to be a show car anyway. It was kind of an experiment. My first model that I've altered outside of box stock, so this was just kind of an experiment from the beginning anyway, but still that's pretty unfortunate. That's how you get better, by making mistakes and keep on going. So a couple other things I've got to do. I've got to figure out how to hold this hood. There's nothing to hold the bottom in, so it just falls in on the front. So I'm going to have to fabricate something under here to hold the hood in, and then making some progress on the wheels. I got those painted up. Just used a black chrome from All Clad and cleared it, and then just painted up the calipers and the brake discs. So we'll keep going with the install. We're getting really close to finishing this thing up, so we'll keep going here. Alright, so for the hood, I just glued on a couple little fall through stops, just some flat styrene, just to keep the hood from falling down. Got the wheels installed. It's looking pretty good, so we're just about ready to wrap this thing up and get ready for the photo op. Alright, that wraps up this build. Oh, I added in some fades on the little faux vent covers there, just to kind of add a little bit more interest to the paint job. Not too bad for a first little cut up model, or slightly modified, I guess. Anyway, let me get her cleaned up and then we'll do the photo op. If you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe, give me a thumbs up. That lets me know that you guys are interested and you want to see more. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.